Hello everyone and welcome back to Season Review, where we analyze the performance of every team on the grid on the 2019 F1 season. This time around we're going to analyze the season of Ferrari, finishing in second place in the constructors' standings with 504 points. This year has been a bit of a shocker for them, with the new driver lineup consisting of four-time world champion Sebastian Vettel and young star Charles Leclerc. It looked to be a promising year with hopes of taking the title. In testing, everyone was sure of them being the fastest team, from other team principals to drivers, press and journalists, setting fire to the timing sheets and topping the whole of pre-season testing in Barcelona, with Vettel up on top and Leclerc right behind, up until the last day when they got split by a surprisingly quick Hamilton. But the biggest surprise came a few weeks later, at the season opener in Australia, where the Mercedes cars unleashed their full potential, locking out the first row of the grid and going on to finish first and second with a Red Bull third. After that letdown, they got back up and didn't give up, getting pole on Bahrain, a first for the Monegasque and a promising result for the Scuderia, a result that seemed to be in the bag for the whole race, up until 10 laps to the end, where an engine issue forced him to concede his lead to Hamilton and then Bottas, leaving him to score his first podium, but a bitter one for sure. China was the 1000th. China was the 1000th. China was race 1000 of the 2019 championship history. So Ferrari were keen on making a good impression by winning the 1000th race of the championship they've been racing since the beginning. Unfortunately, they couldn't materialize that, with Mercedes asserting dominance again by taking the pole and the win. Another third place for Ferrari, and nonetheless the first podium of the season for Vettel, and some controversial managing of Leclerc's race. Canada was the first good race all around for the team, except for a little detail. With a pole position secured, Vettel had it all to lose on that race, where he was constantly pressured from behind by Lewis. Pressured until he made an error, running wide on turn 3 and returning to the track on what the stewards considered a dangerous manner. He was given a 5-second penalty, meaning that they had to pull a decent gap behind, which he couldn't do, relegating him to second place for the first double podium for Ferrari on round 7 of the season. After the summer break, Ferrari looked to be another team. Having upgraded the car, definitely they were not giving up on the title fight, having their first front row lockout of the season in Spa. A second pole for Leclerc, who would go on to take his maiden win in an amazing circuit. Then came Monza. A chaotic qualifying session due to everyone wanting to catch a slipstream gave another pole for Leclerc, and one that would be most important, being home of the Tifosi. After another race-ruining battle spin, Leclerc would sail to the checkered flag, taking the first Ferrari home win since Fernando Alonso back in 2010, almost 10 years ago, in what was Leclerc's 25th race start, 14th for Ferrari. The tears and screams from the fans left us wondering if this win was as important to them as the championship itself. Singapore was a third consecutive pole for Charles, one many people would argue had to have been his third race win as well. But a battle undercut proved supreme and he took his first win of the season, over a year since his last one in Spa 2018, and the team's first and last 1-2 result all season. The US Grand Prix was the first time Leclerc hadn't qualified on the front row since Belgium, plus a bizarre suspension failure from Vettel concluded a bad weekend overall. 3 more podiums would lead us into the Brazilian Grand Prix. As I stated in previous videos, this was one of, if not the most hectic and unpredictable race all season. And with pressure building up, the Ferrari duo were battling throughout the race, leading to a sketchy move by Vettel on lap 66 of 71, and ruining both drivers' races with a puncture and a suspension failure in what most said was almost a carbon copy of Turkey 2010. In Abu Dhabi, Leclerc would go on to finish P3, beating his teammate in the race and in the championship, in what was a pretty bad season for Ferrari, although results might not show it, finishing P2 but with a ton of internal problems, strategy mess-ups and the drivers seemingly going at each other's throats. This year proved that having 2 number 1 drivers in such a competitive team is not a good idea, and the natural next step would be for one of those to step down. The question is, who will it be?